Okay, welcome back to 6.6 Rational Exponents. In this part, we're going to cover operations simplifying expression that has rational exponents. In this part, you do need to remember your laws, properties of exponents. We did cover that in chapter 5, so if you need to go back to it, make sure to go back to the first section where I cover on types of properties and what to know, what to do when you come across those type of problems. Now, in our first example, I have 3r to the 3/2 power times 2r to the 5/3 power. So when we're multiplying, let's take a look at the coefficient. So it's going to be 3 times 2, so I'm going to multiply these two right here. So that's simply going to be 6. And then for the other one, the r times the r, so it's going to be r, and since I am multiplying, I'm going to add the exponents together. So it's going to be 3/2 plus 5/3. So that would be my exponent. Now, since it's going to be some writing, I'm going to put the fraction work here, but be mindful that I'm doing the work for the exponent. So I'm still going to have the 6r as my base, but I'm going to be doing the work over here for the exponent. So I'm going to write it out. So 3/2 plus 5/3. Now when you're adding or subtracting fraction, they need to have common denominator. So in order to have common denominator, we look at what's in common between 2 and 3 in our denominator, which is 6. So to change 2 into 6, I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by 3. To change 3 into 6, I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. So when I do that, in this fraction, it's going to be, and again, I'm going to multiply across, so 9/6, and then this is a plus. Here, 10/6. Now, since they have the same denominator, I'm going to combine my numerator, 9 plus 10, which will be 19, over my denominator of 6. So, here's my work for the fraction. Therefore, I'm bringing my answer down here. It's going to be 6r to my exponent of 19/6. So when I combine 3/2 plus 5/3, that became 16/9 on the r. So my final answer is 6r to the power of 19/6. So when you're multiplying with the same base, you're going to add the exponent, but be mindful that when you're adding with fraction, and these fraction were from the rational exponent, when you're adding or subtracting fraction, they need to have the same denominator. Alright, in this next example, I have 5a times 4a to the power of 2 over 5. Now the a has an exponent, a rational exponent, to be specific, 2 over 5. So I'm going to combine with this a when I'm multiplying. So make sure to remember that even though that it's 5a, the 5 has an exponent and the a does have an exponent, but the more focus on the a's. So the a has an invisible 1 for the exponent. So just like before, I'm going to multiply my coefficient numbers. 4 times 5, that's 20. And then I'm going to multiply my a's together. So it's going to be a to the power of 1 plus, because I'm adding the exponents, and this is a positive exponent, so 2 over 5. Alright, and I'm going to write the fraction work over here for the a. So it's 1 plus 2 over 5. So when you have something like that, we're going to convert 1 into a fraction, and this is the same process if you had a whole number. So 1 over 1 plus 2 over 5. Now the common denominator between 1 and 5 is 5. So in the first fraction, I'm going to multiply numerator and denominator by 5, so I can get common denominator. I'm not going to do anything to the second fraction because the denominator is already 5. So here, this will be 5 over 5. Bring down the second fraction, 2 over 5. So once you have the same denominator, I'm going to combine my numerator. So 5 plus 2 is 7, so 7 over 5. So I'm going to bring my answer. The 20a to the power of 1 plus 2 over 5, it would simplify to 20a to the power of 7 over 5. So that's the exponent on a. Now be very careful how you write your exponent. Make sure to keep it the size of an exponent. Don't write it as the size of a base. If it does, then you're giving me a confused answer, and I will check off partial credit for that. So keep the size of your rational exponent the size of an exponent on your a, just like how I have done it. So 20a to the power of 7 over 5, 7 over 5 came from 1 plus 2 over 5.